this is Ishita Datta, a legal intern at Lexis & Company, and today I will be talking about the topic which is cognizable and non-cognizable offence. Code of Criminal Procedure is proposed to present a method for the enforcement of criminal law. According to the first schedule of the Indian Penal Code, the offences such as culpable homicide, murder, theft and rape are classified into cognizable offences, and bailable offences are classified as the non-cognizable offences. The first schedule of the code under the Indian Penal Code and other laws divide themselves into cognizable and non-cognizable offences. In the case of offences under any penal law, the offence which is punishable with imprisonment for up to 3 years or more, the offence is cognizable. And if the punishment of the imprisonment is for less than 3 years, then the offence is non-cognizable. Section 2 Clause C and Section 2 Clause 1 of the Code defines the cognizable and non-cognizable offences. So offences under the CRPC. The offences which are stated in the IPC are referred to be tried under the court by the following procedure of the CRPC. So to find the authenticity of a crime or as to know whether it is a criminal act or not, the IPC is used. Therefore, the confirmation of the criminal act leads to the prosecution of the case which is given in the Criminal Procedure Code of India. The code provides a necessary methods for finding of a crime, the arrest of the suspects, the collection of evidence, determination of guilt or innocence of the accused, and the execution of punishment on the guilty person. So cognizable offences or cognizable cases. So what are they exactly? Cognizable offences means an offence which a police officer can arrest the accused by the first schedule or under any law. Cognizable offences are the offences in which a police officer can arrest a person or an accused without a warrant. The offences that come under cognizable cases are more serious in nature. For example, murder, culpable homicide and rape are categorized into the cognizable offences. If the police officer in charge gets information of the commission of the cognizable offence, he has to record the first information report and it is required to register the case to start the investigation. The police officer in charge can investigate without any prior order from the court. So in the case of Vadlamuddi Kutumba Rao, it was held that in order to be a cognizable offence or a case, it would be enough that one or more offences should be cognizable and there can be no case under the court which is partly non-cognizable. Examples of cognizable offences. So the following are the examples of cognizable offences. First is murder, second is rape, third is kidnapping, fourth is dowry death, fifth is theft, sixth is culpable homicide, seventh is waging war, eighth is unnatural offences. So the power of the police officers to investigate cognizable offences and cases. So what is the power? Section 156 Clause 3 of the CRPC provides the police officer to investigate into a cognizable offence. The police officer has the authority to start an investigation of the cognizable offence without the order of a magistrate. And also a magistrate who empowered under Section 190 of the CRPC can order a police officer in charge to investigate any cognizable offences. In the case of Seema Devi versus State of UP, it was held that it is the primary duty of the police officer in charge to register a first information report, and if the police in charge does not record the FIR, then the magistrate has the power to issue directions under Section 156 Clause 3 to register and investigate the case. So in the case of Tularam versus Kishore Singh, it was held that a magistrate can order investigation order under Section 156 Clause 3 only at the pre-cognizant stage. In the case Mohammed Yusuf versus Afkar Jahan, it was held that the police officer has to register an FIR when the investigation is ordered by the magistrate under Section 156 Clause 3. So what are non-cognizable offences or non-cognizable cases? So an offence in which a police officer is not empowered to arrest the accused without a warrant. So if a police officer, for example, can't do it without a warrant. The examples are the minor offences such as assault or causing simple hurt or some of the examples. The police in charge of the police station can record the FIR only with the prior permission from the magistrate. An example of this is the following other examples of a non-cognizable offence. So for example, assault, causing simple hurt, cheating, forgery, and the power of the police officer to investigate a non-cognizable offence comes in 155 section of the CRPC. It provides a police officer it would say it cannot record an FIR without the permission of the magistrate. A magistrate gives the order to a police officer to investigate the non-cognizable offence. After receiving the order, police officer exercise the power to the investigation. A police officer in certain circumstances can investigate a non-cognizable offence. For example, in the case of an offence under the Opium Act, a police officer can arrest without a warrant if the accused is not furnishing the security required. So in the case of Adesh Kumar Gupta versus CBI, it was held that after receiving the complaint on non-cognizable offence, the police officer in charge is required to record the said information in a book kept for such purposes and then refer the information to the magistrate. In the case of Kaithi Varan versus Commissioner of Police, it was held that in the case that the police officer in charge of receiving non-cognizable offence complaint has to follow the provisions under section 155 of the CRPC. This is the basic difference one should know between a cognizable and non-cognizable offence. Thank you so much.